up, you guys? This is Rob from the Gay Guy Plays, and holy shit, the hype train has gone anti-gravity when we take off for the blossoming Silver Grove update. Now this one is literally packed with so much content to cover, from a new Warframe to a set of new weapons to cosmetics and glyphs. Seriously though, what the fuck was DE thinking when they thought that they were gonna release this, Lunaro, Spectres of the Rail, and the War Within all at the same time? You crazy DE, but I like your style. So without delay, let's jump in head first. So the first of the two new weapons released is the Pox. Aside from it looking like a cross between a jellyfish and a rubber chicken, it's a secondary throwing weapon that explodes upon making contact with enemies or terrain. Think the secondary version of the Torrid. It's got 125 base poison damage, which is a pretty awesome element to combine with, and a 35% status chance, which is what it is. You can get to 100% pretty easily with that. It's got a magazine of 4, a max ammo of 20, and a 1-second reload. This pretty much puts it on par stats-wise with the Sancti Castanas. The fire rate is quite a bit slower, but you do save yourself some time with the larger magazine. Also note that this does have quite a slow projectile speed, so make sure that you're factoring that in when you leave your targets. You can catch the Pox in the infested lab of your clan dojo. Next up is the Sarpa. See, I said it right this time. This is our new gunblade and it looks absolutely beautiful. Love the magazine, love the details on the barrel. In fact, I pretty much love the entire thing, excluding the massive blade on the handle that's pointed right at you. Who thought that was a good idea? Regardless, this has 70 base damage, 5% crit chance with a 1.5 times multiplier, a 10% status chance, and has a 1.0 attack speed. Now, I do need to do more play testing, but while this does have a higher base pellet damage, it does fire off less bullets per charge than the Redeemer does. When I slow it down, it looks like it's shooting approximately 4 per animation, which puts it behind the Redeemer's 10 pellet volley by quite a bit. So I'm definitely gonna dive a bit deeper for the quick draw on this one. Now, you can pick its blueprint up in the market for 25,000 credits. Just keep in mind that it will cost you a fully built set of axe stiletto to build. Now, going hand in hand with that, the Silver Grove update also dropped a new stance for gunblades, Blade Dance, which looks a little like this. I'm really loving this one, as its first attack is actually a shot from the pistol, making it really easy to combo into a charge attack. I'll get a stand spotlight on it after I knock out some of the higher priority content. Speaking of high priority content, Titania has arrived in a cloud of pixie dust and butterflies. You can start her quest by heading to the relay and talking to the lady with the scary teeth in the new Loka Syndicate room. Now, her first skill is called Spellbind, which levitates an enemy and any surrounding nearby enemies helplessly in the air. Any allies caught within the cast radius will be granted temporary status immunity. Next up is Tribute, which actually changed from its original incarnation, Soul Swipe. This basically knocks down an enemy, dealing damage, weakening their attacks, and leaving a collectible buff in its place. Once collected, all allies in the surrounding area will receive one of 4 stackable buffs: an enemy aim decrease, enemy movement speed decrease, damage reflection, or a companion damage boost. Now, it is going to take a bit of time to research their efficacy, so you'll have to hold your horses on that one for now. Lantern is her next ability, which I am so bummed that they changed the name from Lamplighter, but whatever. Regardless, it levitates an enemy and creates 2 areas of effect. The furthest out is an aura that causes all enemy AI to shut down and become attracted to the lantern. The closest in shreds any enemies that enter it with razor butterflies. Once the effect wears off, the lantern enemy explodes, dealing damage to all enemies within range. This is awesome to toss into a tightly clustered squad or to push into a choke point. Last up is Razor Wing, which tosses her into fairy mode, letting her zip around in Arcwing mode and absolutely wreck house. This makes her 50% more difficult to hit, grants her 6 drones that flock to nearby enemies, and gives her access to, get this, the Jawada and the Dex Pixia. Now, if that ain't the coolest name ever, I do not know what is. Now, these pull mods off of her primary and melee weapons to increase their effectiveness. Note that I tested this with shotguns and rifles, and both sets of mods carried over just fine. Now, as for her model, holy fuck, the PBR is strong with this one, and I absolutely love it. I am also a big fan of these horseshoe shapes that wrap around the model, and them boots are fucking killing it. With as much metal as she's rocking, I wouldn't be surprised if they just took her and dipped the prime variant in a bucket of gold. Now, you've all seen her standard helmet, however, I am currently feeling her Ori helmet. I love the little energy details on each one of the antenna. If you guys like them too, you can pick this up in the market for 75 plat. Now, while in general I do love the whole look, I do have one issue. The Arcwing segments are a bit jelly looking. Now, they're not as jello-like as Trinity Prime's lobster tail, but it doesn't seem to sit quite right considering that they're modeled to look like a solid structure. Speaking of things that aren't quite solid, let's move on to customizations and start off with this. The Apoxis Sayandana. No thank you, but I will give them credit for putting the energy colors on the little nubs. Very similar to the pucks, as well as those deep sea anglers that have those bioluminescent bits that are kind of cool. However, as many of you know, this does not fit my aesthetic at all. But if they fit yours, you can pick this up in the market for 85 plat. Now, moving on to some cool aesthetics. Our operators finally got some fashion frame love with the Copra and the Viridia outfits. I am a massive fan of the Copra, however the Viridia looks pretty badass too. My only real issue is the fact that at the moment we have no way of pulling the hoods over our heads. Not even when we're in focus. But regardless, I am just glad that we got some more options. If you like these, you can pick this up in the Operator Suit Collection bundle for 190 plat. Do note that at this very moment they are not available for purchase individually. Now, while we're here, they also implemented glyphs. You can select your favorite through your profile. However, if you want to be able to leave your mark in a mission, you'll want to access your gear wheel and equip your glyph prism. I'm pretty sure all of us got a free one with the update. Our final bit in this quite hefty update are the 3 new augments. Nyx gains Assimilate, which shrinks her absorb bubble but allows her to move at a reduced rate. Nezha's warding halo can now be used to safeguard his allies at a reduced effectiveness. And Atlas's landslide gets Path of Statues, which leaves a trail that almost instantly petrifies any enemies that walk through it. Now, all of them need a lot more testing before I can say anything specific. However, from the little experience that I do have with them, I will attest that they are fucking up my builds. So keep an eye out for upcoming snapshots, as these do need a bit more playtesting, and I don't feel like they can just be slotted in willy-nilly. So that pretty much covers all of the important bits. I've got a ton of forma to dump into these babies, so I'm gonna have to love you and leave you. But don't worry, we'll definitely chat again soon. Bye-bye!